Good morning. Welcome along. How the devil are you? Hope everything's good with you. This is your 8 a.m. movement snack on Sunday, the 15th of August 2021. If you're a catcher-upper, then hi, welcome. Enjoy. Skip straight through to the snack if you want, or stick around. Choice is yours. But pop us a comment in. Let us know you've been in. Really good to know. Whatever the choice of conversation might be, preamble-wise, this is where we just have a little bit of a chat, see what's going on. Weather's grey. Here looks like there's a bit of blue sky lurking through, starting to come through. But we don't have to talk about that. I'll talk about my plumbing experience yesterday. Managed to fix the sink. Well, not the sink. It was the waste under the sink that started to leak. So I replaced all the what's it called? The gubbins. That's it. The gubbins. All the gubbins underneath the waste trap and all of that. I've never done a 1.5 sink before. First time. I bought a new outdoor tap as well. Bought a new outdoor tap to replace. So that's another job I need to do. I just saw it and fancied it. I thought, wow, that looks nice. No, I didn't. The one's got a lever on it rather than a turn. And I know I'm always going on about, we need to exercise our wrists and everything. But this, we've got a leak on it. So as you turn it, you get a little bit of water coming out, so it dribbles all down. Annoys me. It annoys me. So this one is just like a lever, so it's either on or off. Yeah, that's it. So that should be good. There's no how fast is it or not. Yeah. Right, good morning, Margaret. How the devil are you? Listening to me rambling on. I'm sorry, it's a Sunday morning. Just got out of bed. Got to exercise the mouth. Breaking through in Chesterfield. Good, glad to hear it. Bit of sunshine coming your way, hopefully. Christine Perry, Mrs. P is in. Good morning to you. Good morning, George. Dull in Cruden Bay this morning. Hope you got your cuppa ready. I've literally just dragged myself out of bed. Isn't that awful? In fact, I think I've even wiped the sleep out of my eyes, so excuse me a second. Oh, get the eyes to work. There we go. Get them to open. How you doing? How's everyone going? Right, Sunday, the 15th of, glad to hear it, George, cuppa in hand. 15th of August, 2021. 15th of August, can you believe it? 15th of August, blimey. It will soon be that end of school holidays. I'm not going to say the C word that I said yesterday. Little star on the top. Good morning to Julian. Good to have you with us on this Sunday morning. Sunday's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? We sometimes get lots of people, and sometimes we get few, because Sunday's it's traditionally sort of like a line day, isn't it? A lot of people have a line on a Sunday. I try to. But then I thought, no, I've got to get up. Carol, good morning to you. Grey day here, ready to wake up with a snack. Well, I can see what I can do for you. It's one of those days. It's a little bit grey, a little bit overcast here. But, we can let the sun shine through from our hearts, from us to you, from you to us, all of that sort of stuff. Good morning to Pat Haynes, and good morning to Caroline Galloway, who's joined us as well as we hit 8 o'clock mark. Vivian just sneaking in. Well, not sneaking in. Just coming in under the finishing post as the door was closing. You limboed underneath. That's an impressive move. Good morning to you, Vivian. Good to have you with us. Just this minute stopped raining. Up early and a second cup of coffee. This is my first cup of tea. Look, and I haven't even... Look how much is left. So excuse me while I just have a quick sip. Right, if you want to leave the comments off the bottom of your screen, all you got to do is swipe them and they are gone. Should we have our 3, 2, 1? I'm feeling a little bit... 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. You're with Dave Montgomery from Lay Life Training, and today is Sunday, the 15th of August, 2021. And this is our 8 a.m. movement snack. Opportunity number 1 to add lots of extra minutes into your day. All you got to do is decide whether you're going to do it standing or seated. You can do it now if you want, or you can watch and you can do it afterwards. Choice is yours. Right, let me get myself up. Let us get ourselves going. So, a few little pointers firstly. In standing, I've got my fixed external support available to me. Nothing that's going to get in the way on the floor. So, clear space. Good sturdy chair for our seated options. Excuse me. Socks on so I can feel the floor beneath me, but depend upon your floor. If it's not a carpeted or rugged floor, then you need sensible, comfortable footwear. All right? Remember that we do whatever we do it for ourselves. So whatever your range of motion is in these movements, it's exactly right. We're all different, yeah? Let's get ourselves set up with our posture then. So in our standing position, we've got our heels in line with our knees and our knees in line with our hips. This lift and lengthen out from our hips to grow this a little bit taller, bringing the shoulders up, back and pressing down. Remembering that our knees stay soft, don't lock them, okay? In seated, from the back of the chair, I might just fall asleep again now. No, I'm here. Lift the back off the chair and hip walk into the front third. Pause it there for me, and then let's line everything back up again. Lift and lengthen, shoulders up, back and down. Let's start with that circulation boosting. Now this is exactly what it says on the tin, isn't it? It's about boosting our circulation, ready for the snack, but also ready for the day. So if you've been sat down for a while, or first thing in the morning, a little bit of a circulation boost gets everything going again, okay? So let's get this movement going using our support if we need to, and then let's take it a little bit bigger into a march. Clearing the foot from the floor slightly, giving us the ability to get a bigger movement happening. And all this lift the shoulders back and down is about opening our rib cage as well. So we can start to breathe a bit deeper. And that's what the circulation boosting is about, isn't it? Raising that heart rate, breathing a bit bigger. Now, seated, we might get a little bit of fatigue here. So remember, we have our options of tapping the foot in front or just coming back down into that heel raise. Adding an arm in as well. And in our standing position, we can see with that arm added in, how I can clear the feet and start to point the toes down so we get a little bit of movement into our ankles as well. Now, we change hands from side to side. So if our support is in front, we've got the ability to place the hand down and just take the other hand off and go. But always have a hand in contact with the support. If you're not using your support, you can just change from side to side. However, if you are using support and it's to the side, it's a pause. A turn and many steps you need in that turn to the other side. And then away you go on the other side. Now, if you want to progress this a little bit more, seated, standing, if you feel steady, stable and coordinated, then we can do both hands together. Driving it through, remembering that the elbow is the driving motion here as far as the arms is concerned. So we're not just swinging those arms, we've got a controlled movement. And these bigger movements are starting to get the blood pumping around the body, warming the muscles, we're warming the joints, we're loosening the joints, ready to go into our mobility. So, 2 minutes, 3 minutes max is what we're looking for as far as this is concerned. Bring it to a bit of a smaller movement, take a pause, and a couple of deep breaths. It's worth remembering here that we shouldn't feel really out of breath. We should just feel as though we want to take a couple of deep breaths. Let's start with our top trio. So, standing, base of support firstly, have a look. Heels outside of our hips, knees softened. So here's our hips, here's our heels, just outside. It's not a big wide stance. Knees softened though, but have a look. All right, so there's a locked knee, there's a bent knee, and there's a softened knee. Can you see the difference from locked to softened? Just got that bit of extra support for us and that bit of extra flexibility within our legs. This is our base of support. Seated, same with the feet, bottom firmly on the chair, okay? Now let's have a look at the shoulder movement. So we've got a lift of the shoulders towards the ears and then a press back down, taking the full range of motion that you can, lifting and lowering. Important remembering here the neck stays lengthened. So we lift the shoulders towards the ears rather than the ears down towards the shoulders, which just makes me look like a gargoyle. Ooh, looks like I'm gurning. 4 or 5 of those is what we're looking for. And then once we've done our 4 or 5, staying in the same position as far as our legs are concerned, bring the shoulders forward, lift towards the ears, back past your earlobes, shoulder blades together and down. Now, this is a controlled movement. We want to feel every part of that shoulder mobilizing as we take it around. And remember that we might have more mobility on one side than the other, and that can be perfectly normal sometimes. There's an ideal crowbar opportunity for later on. Focus onto the one side where you feel you have less, keep the other side level, and give yourself some extra movements into that one side, isolating it. Once you've done your 4 or 5, take a pause. We're going into our head turning. Now, even if you don't feel you need it here, have some support available. Just because turning our head can make us feel a little bit disorientated, we've still got that same base of support. So those knees soften again, and this is where it's really important because we can have little changes movement-wise, and the knees will react to it and allow us to stay steady and stable. Eye line is level, chin stays level, head turns, okay? There's the movement to the side, pause in the centre, to the side. Note how the eye line stays level and the chin stays level, so we're not looking back or down. This little pause in the centre is where the body re-establishes itself and hopefully stops us getting any feeling of dizziness. But have that support available so it's there. Sometimes just a touch of a finger is all the body needs to say, okay, I know where I am now in relation to everything around me. I feel steady. Yeah. Now, best range of motion you can, but no pain. This shouldn't hurt, okay? Unless you have some pain in your neck normally, in which case you shouldn't feel any additional pain. But we're trying to achieve the best range of motion that we can. Let's think about crossing the road, talking to somebody who's next to us, even picking things up. The head turns. 4 or 5 on each side is what you're looking for. And then we're going to go into the back of the neck. So once you've done those 4 or 5, stay where you are. Stance is exactly the same, okay? I'm just going to come and kneel in so that you can see this a little bit clearer. This is what we're going to do here. See how we come in a little bit? We're going to straighten that out. So we've got a couple of choices. Fingers on our chin, and we can either keep the fingers on the chin, and then we just come back. I find it difficult to talk when I keep my fingers on my chin. But note, eye line stays level, or we can leave the fingers where they are and come back. So because the eye line is staying level and we're taking the head back, we're getting an extra chin, and that's fine. But you see how we lengthen through the back of the neck? So we restack it all on the top, back onto the top of our spine, restacking that head, recentering our centre of balance is what we're looking at. 4 or 5 of those is what you want. Now, the thing about all these movements is they're things that we do during the day. So we move our arms, which includes our shoulders. We turn our head to talk. And those are all movements that we do during the day. And everything we do during Make Movement Your Mission is about movements that we already do. All we do is isolate and focus on them. Once you've done your 4 or 5 of those, let's go into a little circulation booster. So back into just the march. Lifting the foot off the floor, clearing if you can. And again, seated wise, same movement, but if you feel fatigue, change it. Do something different. This is just about reboosting the circulation a little bit. So we can get ready to move from our top trio to our trunk trio. Okay? 30 seconds is all we really need. And then let's bring it back in and pause. Let's have a look at our side bend and have a look at it in seated firstly. So prompts for you for seated firstly. Feet flat on the floor. Sitting bones flat on the seat. Okay? And they stay there. The movement is straight down, straight up with a pause, and then straight down the other way. Now this pause is your chance to reset, or it might be have a little bit of a rest, come back in, and away you go. It might be a pit stop, yeah? Movement is exactly the same in standing, and it's worth noting here, look, that it is straight down, straight up. So support-wise, if your hand's in front, you can do one side, change your hand, and away you can go on the other side. However, if it's to the side of you, again, it's like our march and arm swing that we did at the beginning. So we come in and pause. We take it back into that support. Once we've done the 4 or 5, it's those steps to turn, set ourselves up, and away we go. And here you really feel the benefit of having those softened knees, because they're going to help us keep this part of our body still and just get the best mobilization out of our trunk area. 4 or 5 on each side is what you're looking for there. And that thing with using the legs of you or the legs of the chair gives us an idea of how far we're going and how far our range of motion might be improving over time. Once you've done 4 or 5, a pause. We're going into a trunk twist. Okay? Now here, we want to really try and keep the hips still. So these knees are really going to help us here. That's going to aid to try and keep this still. Elbows in line with shoulders, and the movement is there. To the side, pause in the center, to the other side. Yeah, and see how the hips stay still, so I'm not moving the hips. Right, in seated, it's those sitting bones again. So if you feel that one part of your bottom lifts as you turn to the side, that's going to indicate to you you've got some movement into those hips, and we want to avoid that, okay? So in standing, if you feel you're getting that, you could use the support as a reference point, either behind you or in front. And if you feel your bottom lifting if it's behind you, or you feel the hip lifting as you turn away, you know you've got movement in those hips. Again, from a support perspective, you've got the ability to use it in front. And again, if it's to the side, it's the same as it was. We turn into the support to start off with, we do our 4 or 5 there, and then take as many steps to turn and face the other way. Rolling over in bed, putting your seatbelt on, getting dressed, anything where we've got this movement in the trunk is where we're working there. But also, the trunk plays an important part in just keeping us upright, whether we're seated or standing, keeping us up, giving a bit of support to this upper part of our body. So building flexibility, mobility and strength within there is really important. Final movement in this trio. We're extending, we're coming into our lower back. Now, pelvis is the thing we're really focusing on here. So hips and pelvis again. What we don't want to happen is this. So we don't want to come forward, we don't want to come backwards. This movement is not a hinge movement. So it's not that, okay? What we're looking to is keep everything below the waist still, or below the hips still, sorry, not the waist. Because I always go, this is the waist, but it's not, it's up here, isn't it? This is your waist, really. Right, so the movement. Good base of support and standing. I've got my supports available to me if I need it. Eyeline is going to stay level, so again, we're going to get that extra chin. The movement is a lift of the chest firstly, and then this extension back, in and down. But note that it's an extension, it's not a hinge. Now, I find personally that either using some reference and support or seated works better for me in this one. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't have to think about it. So in seated, look, my bottom is going to tell me what's happening. So here I go. Lift of the chest, extend back. I can feel whether I've got movement in those, in that pelvis because of the way that my bottom is interacting with that chair. Yeah? And this gets me that back extension. Now I just feel I can get a better range of motion there because I'm now not having to think about what's happening here. I can just feel it. So I can put all my focus in to try and get this best movement. Just a personal thing. But in the chair, or here, look. So again, if you're using that support as a reference point, there's your option. We saw it to the side. If the support is in front of you, then be careful because we don't want to go away from our support. So it might be a case of actually to the side of you is the better way to come. We're not turning, we're not doing one side or the other. So it doesn't really matter where that support is for you as far as you having to do lots of extra movements to turn. Yep. Once you've done your 4 or 5, take a pause. Guess where we're going? Back into arm movements. So back into a circulation boosting, but just the arms this time. And we can start to make them a little bit bigger in front if you want. So a bit of a bigger reach, but still that drive of the elbow backwards. And exactly the same in seated. Now standing, good base of support should mean we don't necessarily need to have that support available to us. But if you'd rather, here, use it as a reference point again if you feel comfortable with that. Or just go with your arm and hold on. Have that support there to the side or the front. It's only 30 seconds. All we're doing is giving a little reboost before we go from, we've gone from top to trunk, we're now going to ankle, feet and toes. Time to treat the feet. So let's have a look. Now, here, an important prompt. Have support available, even if you don't feel you need it. Reason being, this is about mobility. It's not about balance. So let's take that out. Let's get the best amount of mobility we can by not having to focus on balancing. So, foot closer to the support, knee soft. Like a freemason then, not knee soft. Heel flat on the floor, toes flat on the floor, sole of the foot flat on the floor. Bring this other leg in. We're going to take that eye line so it's looking forward, but firstly we might want to have a quick look to make sure we get the best placement. Toe and ankle go in exactly the same place. Once you feel comfortable with that, take your eye line to the front and away you go. Yeah. Now what you're also going to do for me is, as you put the toe down on the heel down on the floor, sorry, splay your toes out. As you bring the foot over, scrunch your toes up and then point the toes down. You can do this, look, as you can see here, you can do this without using that support. But if you feel at all challenged balance-wise, use the support. As I say, it's not about balance, it's about mobility. Seated-wise, then exactly the same movement is possible. Just bring the foot back a little bit to get you that range, or that space to get that range of motion in. And there's your movement. Or take a little hip walk back. Once you're in the back of the chair, extend the foot away, and there's your point, and there's your flex. And again, here's where you're going to crunch the toes, here's when you're going to splay the toes. This is not a strength move, as it's not a balance move. So if you want to take a rest, put the foot down, even if it's between every one. Reset, and away you go again. That splay and that scrunch. Okay. Reason for that is toes, fingers of the feet. Feel them gripping the floor. Once you become aware of them, you'll feel it all the time. They start to grip the floor as you shift your weight from side to side. And this heel toe action is there, look. As we walk, exaggerated here, I'll give you, but that is your motion. So if you want to take it that step further and follow it through with that motion, heel down, toe, upper body staying tall, and there is that walking motion. That is us done for this 8 a.m. morning. I'm going to finish the rest of my cup of tea now and start my day. Ruston, have a great day, everybody. Go forth and crowbar away. I'm not sure what I'm doing this week. I think I'm on 4pms, and I've got a bit of I'll tell a lie, I am on 4pms, and I've got a bit of a strange week. There's a number of them I can't do. So I will see you at some point during this week, and I can't remember for the life of me when it is. I think it will be Wednesday before I'll see you again. Have a great week. Have a great day. Stay with mobility, stay with movement on the agenda for today, and crowbar away to your heart's delight. I'll see you real soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.